Hello and welcome. Welcome to my free presentation today. I'm so glad to see so many of you here today. So many of you wanting to change not only your lives, but the lives of others who are experiencing deep grief. So please sit back, relax. I don't like to waste time, so we don't go play games and get into all of that stuff. I like to get into the presentation straight away. Why? Because I have got so much to cover with you today. So without wasting any more time, let's start. So, how to turn your grief into growth and your healing into a mission that changes and transforms lives. Even if you've never fully healed your own grief. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. It's a step-by-step method to become a confident, compassionate guide and practitioner to others who are stuck in their grief, struggling with their grief, so that you can give deep meaning to your loss and create real transformation from the inside out. So please sit back, grab a pen and paper, and turn off any distractions. Because what we're going to be covering today is absolutely life-changing. But before we go very much further, you're probably wondering, who the heck are you, Denise, and why should I even listen to you? I am Denise Deelvaart, and I'm the creator of my very unique Flow Grief Release method. You see, after losing my husband Martin suddenly to a blood clot, I turned my own heartbreak into a mission to help others heal their grief, heal their sadness, heal their pain, and turn it into joy. I developed, along the way of helping others, I developed grief neuro-repatterning. It's a breakthrough approach that rewires our brain, rewires the grief brain, and brings deep healing in weeks. Yes, weeks, not years and years and years. Through my Flow Grief Academy, I train and I certify grief release practitioners who feel called to guide others after loss. My passion is simple: turning grief into growth and pain into purpose. And today I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you the exact keys and the exact steps on exactly how to do it. But who is this for? Because this is not for everyone. You've loved deeply and lost. That's why you're on the call. And it has changed everything in your life. Your life as you knew it has been shattered. You've carried pain, you've carried love, and lessons that have reshaped you at the very core of who you are. You know grief has left a permanent mark, but you also have the sense that it holds the seed of something greater. You feel a pull to turn grief into growth and into purpose. There's this whisper, this quiet whisper inside of you that says that your story isn't over. That's what you've walked through. Could be the very, very thing, that pain, that grief, that loss. It could be the very first thing that helps you to help others find light in their own darkness. You want to help others heal without years of therapy training, without having to do all the registrations and the licensing. You really want to help others heal their grief as quickly as possible. Here's the thing: you don't need another degree, because what you have is lived experience. You have compassion, and of course the desire to make a difference. And boy, that is so powerful. You're ready to reimagine your life. and the lives you'll impact. Because deep down you know your loss can become a legacy, your legacy to the loved one that you lost. Your journey can create ripples, absolute ripples, for healing others and bring a new meaning to your own life. So what are we going to cover today? Today we're going to have a look at how to guide others through grief in just 6 months without therapy training, or even if you're feeling broken right now. The real reason grief coaching certifications often fail, and what you can do today to finally move forward. Why traditional talk therapy is the worst way to heal grief, and the powerful new approach that works 10 times faster. We're also going to cover how to become the safe, inspiring presence others need, even if you don't feel ready. How to go from feeling lost in pain to leading others through it, while rediscovering your own purpose and your own joy. And how to do all of this without draining yourself, without faking your strength, and without years and years of schooling. So, here's what I promise you today. I really do, hand on heart, promise you a step-by-step strategy to become a certified flow grief release practitioner and start guiding others in just 6 months, or maybe even less, so you can transform pain into purpose and finally say, hey, I'm doing what I'm born to do. But before we get into all of that, let me just quickly check in with you. Really quickly, to see where you're at. Do you feel like you were really meant to help others, but you really don't know where to begin? You have that quiet pull inside of you that keeps whispering, there's more for you, but that more for you path feels so unclear. You wonder if you ever feel truly fulfilled again. Am I ever going to feel better? Am I ever going to feel whole again? You feel like something is missing, as though your loss was meant for something, but you just can't quite get it. You just don't know what that something and that missing piece is. Have you looked at grief coaching or counseling, talk therapy, and felt they were all too clinical, too impersonal, or maybe, just not for you? You're not looking for scripts or surface level fixes. You're searching for something real, soulful, and transformative. You've done that. You've looked through so many trainings, and they just don't fit what you're looking for. Here's the thing. I really want you to get this. Here's the thing, that none of these are the real problem. You think they are, but they're really not the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't found the key that turns your grief into purpose. And once you find that key, you'll wake up every morning with a deep sense of pride and fulfillment, knowing your life has meaning again. You'll see that your loss wasn't the end. It was the beginning of your true calling. You'll guide others with strength, with compassion, and the kind of wisdom only lived experience can give. And you do it all while feeling deeply aligned with your soul and finally living a life that really matters again. Let's imagine for just a few seconds, what if in just 6 months you could heal on a deeper level than ever before, and do this while turning your own story of loss into a powerful mission to help others? What if you didn't need years of therapy and training, because your very lived experience, combined with the Flow Grief Release certification, gives you everything you need. What if the pain that once shattered you became the very key to your purpose, to your calling, and to your legacy? You know, I've spent years working with soul-led people who feel called to help others to transform their life after loss, to reimagine a new life. And during that time, I have seen two kinds of people. I've seen some rise very quickly into their purpose, grab it with two hands. They're now leading others, building meaningful practices, and finding fulfillment. And I've also seen hundreds of others stay stuck, trapped in doubt, trapped in procrastination, or fear of getting it all wrong. So I studied the difference. I found this very fascinating. So I studied the difference and I applied these to my method. And the results were incredible. You see, what I found was there are 5 key steps that you must take to turn your grief into a powerful calling in just 6 months. And of course, to do that without becoming a therapist, without getting stuck in endless healing and spending years in training. And I'm going to walk you through each one of these right now. So this is where you grab your pen and your paper and you start taking some notes. The very first key is courage over comfort. We cannot be comfortable and be courageous at the same time. You see, courage is the number one foundation. It's the foundation of transformational healing work. If you try to build your path on endless learning or waiting for permission for somebody else to say, yes, you can do it, yes, you can do, you're fantastic, you'll always feel not ready, always, without exception. You will always feel, oh, I'm not good enough, and I'm not qualified. And here's why. You see, conventional programs teach knowledge. They don't teach embodiment. Grief is felt within the body. We have to heal from the inside out, from the heart space, not the head space. But where the real healing power, your real healing power comes from, is from your lived experience, your bold compassion, and of course your action. With courage, you become the steady presence that others can lean on. Because someone who has walked through the fire, you've walked through that fire. You've done the work on yourself. And now you stand unshakable in your purpose. But I want to warn you about the comfort trap. Most people think they need more training, more time, or more confidence before they're allowed to help others. Again, asking for permission. But waiting for everything to feel just right, everything's fine, only delays your purpose. It keeps you in preparation mode. While you watch others suffer, while the healing you carry stays locked inside of you. I'll do it when. One day when this happens, I will do it. We have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to step out of that, and that takes courage. Courage means choosing to rise before you're fully ready. You're not ready yet. You know you're not ready yet. How do I do this? I'm not sure, but I'm going to say yes and work out how. It's trusting that your story, your heart, and your healing are all enough. That you are all enough. And that's all that's needed right now to help others. The truth is, your grief has already given you the authority. I'll read that again. You don't have to ask anybody for permission, because your grief has already given you the authority. When you do the inner work, you process your own pain and learn to reframe and repattern your grief. You become qualified in the most powerful way that there is. When you lead with courage and heart, not scripts and checklists, anybody can do that. People feel it and they will follow you. You see, in grief work, courage is everything. It took courage for you to start healing yourself. It took courage for you to carry on with your life when you lost your loved one, didn't it? Yeah? I remember when Martin died, it took courage for me to just get out of bed in the morning. And you know, there are people still struggling with that, and you have the tools right now to help them. Without the courage, you second guess your calling. You get trapped in comparison and stay stuck waiting and waiting and waiting. But with courage, you get to step out, serve powerfully, and make a real difference. And you'll do all of that before you even feel, I'm 100% ready, and now I can do it. Which brings us to the second key. It's not about therapy. This is about transformation, not about talking. Why does this reframe matter? Because most people think that helping others through grief means talking for hours on end, giving advice, or analyzing the past. But that's talk therapy. And therapy keeps people in their story, because they repeat it and they repeat it and they repeat it. What actually changes lives is helping someone shift their internal patterns, what they believe, what they feel, and what they imagine their future to be. Here's the huge distinction. Transformation isn't about the past. It's about what's possible next. Let's draw a line in the sand. Let's honor the past. But what is coming next in my life? Who am I becoming? Who are you helping your clients to become? So, what do we do instead? Instead of processing pain endlessly, repeating our story over and over again, we use tools like the Flow Grief Release Method and Grief Neuro Repatterning, or GNR for short. Why do we do that? Because these two as a combination release subconscious blocks, rebuild internal identity. Who am I now? Who am I now without my loved one? Reimagine a meaningful future. This changes everything because it creates rapid forward movement instead of staying stuck in past grief loops. Let's quickly have a look at Sarah. Sarah came to us after trying therapy and grief share for over 3 years. She wanted to help others, but felt like she just wasn't healed enough to begin. She had already spent thousands on certifications that went absolutely nowhere. So, we told her to stop focusing on the past and start building her purpose. Through our Flow Grief Release Method, she started practicing with real tools, deep healing, and stepping into service to others. Almost immediately, Sarah felt a shift. She said she felt lighter. Something had shifted. She stopped spiraling into her own grief. and started helping others move forward. And today, fast forward to today, she has her own grief support practice, feeling more alive and fulfilled than ever before in her life. Here's the big thing. Grief doesn't define you. It really doesn't. If you want to guide others through grief, you must understand this one key reframe. Transformation, not therapy, is what changes lives. When you grab this key, you stop waiting to be ready, and you start building something powerful, soulful, and real, and you start doing that fast. And that brings us to the third key. What is the third key? The flow and GNR, or grief neuropatterning combination. The two together are the ultimate combination. This is the shift that changes everything, because we now introduce the secret weapon that nobody else has got. With the flow grief release method and grief neuropatterning, you'll discover the most powerful path to heal your own heart on a deeper level, guide others into rapid life-changing transformation, create a practice that feels authentic and soul-led and truly aligned with who you are. And it's possible. It is so possible. Even if you're still grieving, even if you're still sometimes waking up crying, going, I don't know where my life is going. And even if you've never ever supported anyone before, even if the thought of starting feels so overwhelming, why does this work? Even if you've got all these feelings about, I'm still grieving, I've never supported anyone before, is this even possible? It works because talk therapy focuses on the story only. Where have you been? What are you doing? Tell me how you're feeling. Talk to me. Talk. We have to embody the grief. Our body is feeling it. Coaching often skips the nervous system. You see, most grief training never touches the subconscious. And that's why I created GNR, Grief Neuropatterning. Because our grief brain rewires during grief. And unfortunately, if we do not change that and help that rewiring, it will stay like that forever. We have neuroplasticity in our brains, and at any time we can rewire our brain. You see, flow and GNR work directly with the emotional imprint that grief leaves on the brain. It's targeted, it's compassionate, it's embodied, and it's fast. So let's have a quick look at why other approaches don't work. You've probably tried and considered talking it out, seen a therapist, joined grief groups that go in circles and circles and circles and circles. Maybe you've even done some generic life coaching. You've seen a life coach. That hasn't worked. Or maybe just toughing it out alone. I'll just do this. I can do this. I've got this. I've been there. I know what it's like. I've tried talking it out. I had my therapist, my psychologist. I joined copious amounts of grief groups, and they were all sharing their sad stories. Then I tried generic life coaching. It didn't help me. And then I thought, you know what? None of that's helping me. I'll just do this by myself. It doesn't work. Why is this so dangerous? Because it keeps you in survival mode. These are all surface level. They don't shift your identity or rewire your grief brain. What is not understood in a lot of grief therapy modalities is that the brain a grief brain is very different to a normal brain. When you stay trapped in talk therapy, you'll never will ever break free. Never, because you're repeating your story and cementing your story over and over and over again. You know, the pain might ease for a moment, but the core patterns stay buried. So then months turn into years, and the weight of grief just lingers and lingers and lingers. And the purpose that you are meant to live slips further and further and further and further away. And that's not okay. That is just not okay. And so many people are suffering with that right now. So why are flow and GNR so different? Instead of talking about grief, we help you clear grief imprints in the subconscious. Repattern stuck thoughts, feelings, and identities. Give it another meaning. We integrate new emotional set points of peace, confidence, purpose, and joy. This is where true transformation lives. This is how you become the person that others turn to and trust. So what is the fourth key? The fourth key is to create the freedom to live again. This shift is about something most people just simply don't talk about. But it's critical, because just helping others isn't enough. It just doesn't cut it if you're still feeling trapped inside. You're still feeling, oh, I'm still grieving, I'm still trapped. Helping others is powerful. But if you haven't created peace and emotional freedom in your own life, you'll always feel like an imposter. Always. The truth is, you need both. You need a mission and a meaningful life. Because giving without receiving, serving without joy, healing others while ignoring yourself, as I said, it just simply doesn't work. What does real freedom look like? What does it mean? It's loving forward, not living, but loving forward. Laughing without guilt. Saying yes to life, even while honoring your loss. This kind of freedom is your birthright. And it's the very fuel that makes your mission sustainable. Let's have a look at Maria. Maria joined Flow because she wanted to serve, but she was still buried in her heaviness. So we helped her clear her subconscious grief loops with GNR, reconnect her joy, and rebuild a future she was excited about. Now she wakes up energized, supports others, and supports them with strength, inner strength, and finally feels, I'm alive. Her life now includes morning walks by the ocean, spontaneous dancing in the kitchen, and deep connection with her children. And she still guides others through grief every single day. Only now, she does it from an overflow, not depletion. You see, we need to fill our cup and give from the full cup. But we need that full cup to overflow so that we give from the overflow, so that our cup never empties. And the fifth key is to invest in yourself. This is the glue that holds everything together. Because even with the best tools, trying to do this alone can stop you in your tracks. It absolutely can. Why investing in you is absolutely non-negotiable. Everyone who succeeds at turning their pain into purpose makes one powerful decision. They invest in themselves. Because when you do, you gain the two things you absolutely need: strategy and accountability. You see, without commitment, even the most soul-aligned mission that you might have just fizzles out. It loses energy. It loses power. Think about it. The ideas sparking in your mind right now wouldn't even exist if you hadn't made the time for this masterclass. Most people, unfortunately, never make the leap. They stay stuck in thinking about it mode. They dabble. They wait. They tell themselves they're not ready. And the years slip by. Investing in yourself changes that. It gives you the clarity, the structure, and the confidence to finally stop circling around your purpose and to actually step in and start living it. Right now, you have a choice. You can keep waiting, keep questioning your calling, second guessing your timing, and telling yourself, I'm not ready yet, while hundreds of people stay stuck in their pain. The world is grieving right now, and you don't become that grief practitioner you could be. You keep circling around the same surface level solutions. You grab another book. You do another free workshop. You might invest in a training, but that never equips you to create the real transformation you're truly looking for. Or, here's the choice. You can choose to step forward, to answer the call on your life, to turn your loss into a legacy, and become the person who doesn't just heal, but that changes the lives of others and changes their lives forever. What are you choosing today? So how can I help? How can I help you create that life that you're really looking for? What can I do to help you? I have set aside some time in the next 48 hours to offer a free 45-minute discovery call. Yes, it's free, and I'm on the call. Nobody else. Me. I'm on the call, and you and I connect. You see, I want to help you figure out if it's possible for you to become a certified flow grief release practitioner, and what the fastest and most graceful path for you looks like. And whether you're ready yet. You might not be ready, but until we connect on a call together, you're not going to know that. What are we going to cover on that call? We're going to look at how to stop feeling stuck and finally turn your pain into purpose. Why your mission feels heavy now and how to make it feel aligned again. I'm going to give you the exact steps to become someone others turn to for healing and hope. And I'm going to show you how to start helping others confidently in the next 30 to 60 days. This is a free session. It's private and it could change everything for you. But who is this for? This call isn't for everyone, because this certification is not surface level training. If you're looking for quick fixes, scripts or theory, then unfortunately this isn't for you. This is only for those who have experienced personal grief or deep loss, who feel a true calling to help others, and who are ready, absolutely ready to do the deep inner work that creates lasting transformation. If that is you, it's time to step forward. Come out of the background, make yourself visible, and step forward. So click the link or the button near this video and book your free discovery call now. If you look beneath this video, there'll be a box that says book your call now, or something to that effect. Click it. It'll take you to my calendar. Choose a time. I'm in Australia, so you might have, be going through this thinking, I wonder where Denise is from. I'm from Australia. So it converts the time from your time to my time. Spaces are very limited. Let's talk about your grief, your gifts, and what's possible. Let's bring them all together. Here's my link. All the W's, of course, flowgriefacademy.com/talk. But there will be a button below that you can press. The last thing I want to leave you with today is this. Your pain isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of your purpose. Let me help you step into it. Let me shine the light for you. Let me show you the way. I'm Denise Deelwaard, and thank you so much for joining me today. Book your call, and I will talk to you soon. And I just want to say you won't be wasting my time. So book your call, flowgriefacademy.com/talk. And I'll see you soon.